Yet another week of major earnings is upon us. Palantir, Disney, ARM, and Airbnb are among the companies scheduled to report. We're also expecting product updates from Apple at its latest launch event, while the market will also monitor a handful of Fed speakers and bond auctions. Let's take a look at the week ahead. We get a major fan favorite to start the week. We'll digest earnings after the closing bell Monday from Palantir. The company is expected to report earnings of 8 cents per share and revenue of $614.88 million for the quarter. Palantir's revenue jumped 20% year over year in Q4 2023. Q1 revenue forecast is expected between $612 and $616 million. Cathie Wood's ARK Invest picked up $14.6 million in Palantir shares last week, ahead of the report. We'll also get earnings from Spirit Airlines before the bell. The airline reported a smaller than expected loss per share for Q4 2023, with its quarterly net loss of $183.65 million, marking an improvement from the previous year's $270.66 million net loss. We'll kick off Tuesday with more notable earnings, starting with Disney before the open. This is the company's first report since shareholders voted against proposals from activist investor Nelson Peltz during its annual meeting on April 4th, thwarting Peltz's attempts at a board seat. Disney beat earnings per share expectations but reported slightly lower than expected quarterly revenue and is expected to report earnings per share of $1.09 and revenue of $22.11 billion. Other companies reporting pre-market include Crocs, Datadog, Ferrari, and Nikola. Nothing major to consider through this part of the week on the economic calendar, but after the bell, we get even more earnings. RIVN, Upstart, Twilio, and LYFT are among the companies scheduled to report. RIVN is expected to report losses of $1.39 per share with revenue of $1.12 billion. The company unveiled its R2 vehicle and teased its R3 model on March 7th, and we'll have to find out if they can deliver on the earnings side. On to Wednesday we go. After LYFT reports Tuesday after the close, we'll get earnings from its competitor, Uber, before the open on Wednesday. The company beat expectations for both earnings per share and revenue with its last report, more than doubling its Q4 2023 earnings per share from 29 cents to 66 cents year over year. Another key report on Wednesday morning is Shopify. The Canadian tech giant beat revenue and earnings per share expectations with its last report, but provided lighter than expected Q1 2024 guidance for free cash flow margin and revenue growth. Analysts are expecting Shopify to report earnings per share of 8 cents and $1.84 billion in revenue for the quarter. Affirm is also scheduled to report before the open. The stock was the top performer amongst U.S. tech companies with a market cap of $5 billion or higher in 2023, jumping more than 400% last year. Costco is scheduled to release its April sales results on Wednesday as well. On the economic calendar, we'll look to wholesale inventories data for March at 10 a.m. At 1 p.m., we'll get the 10-year note auction, followed by comments from Fed's Cook at 1:30. Even more earnings after the bell. ARM, Airbnb, Robinhood, AMC, and Beyond Meat are all set to report. Watch out for ARM, which jumped 48% after its last earnings report due to a 14% revenue increase and an earnings per share beat. The company provided a Q1 2024 forecast of $850 million to $900 million in revenue and earnings of 28 cents to 32 cents per share, above analyst expectations. This is the first report since the end of the company's post-IPO lockup period on March 12th. Another round of earnings reports before the open, this time from Roblox and Warner Bros. Discovery. Roblox beat earnings last quarter with a smaller than expected quarterly loss per share, while quarterly bookings hit a record high of $1.13 billion. We get a major economic data print right at 8:30 with initial jobless claims. At 12 p.m., we'll get the 15-year and 30-year mortgage rates, followed by the 30-year bond auction at 1 p.m. Not one, but two crypto names to watch out for after the close. Both Marathon Digital and CleanSpark are set to report earnings. CleanSpark reported strong year-over-year earnings per share growth in its last quarter, rising to 14 cents from a loss of 46 cents. Sales also increased by more than 165% on a year-over-year basis, so we'll have to see how Thursday's report compares. Other earnings names to watch out for on Thursday afternoon include SoundHound, which received attention earlier this year after NVIDIA invested $3.7 million in the company, and Unity. Focus will be on data Friday morning. Right at 10 a.m., we'll get the preliminary Michigan consumer sentiment print, which is forecast at 78. We'll also get the Michigan inflation expectations and 5-year inflation expectations. Fed's Goolsbee is scheduled to speak at 12:45 p.m. In recent speeches, Goolsbee has said that there's still work to do on inflation and that he thinks it makes sense to wait for rate cuts, so keep an eye out for his comments. And that's the week ahead. Tune in with us at 8:30 a.m. Monday to Friday on tradertv.live.